this. Hold on, let me go ahead and delete this file. And I do want save slot 1, because that's going to open up a certain strat for me that I may want to use later in the run. I don't know for sure if I'll use it, except maybe in Chapter 8. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh look, there's a blue guy right there.
Okay, cool. I'm willing to talk about this game then.
Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. So this is Shadow. The blue guy just woke him up from his nap really early, and he's not having a good day right now. The city kind of blew up in his face, and he woke up as a robot, but he was woken up early, so he's dying. He's not having a good day right now.
Do you think his day is going to improve?
No. He's going to have a very rough time, especially toward chapters 7 and 8.
Today was the start of a very long day.
Yeah, a very long hour 15 day. Alright, so starting off, you basically can just jump and slash. So, slash things out of your way. By the way, this music is really good.
Oh yeah, soundtrack is absolutely amazing.
Uh-oh.
Was partly worked on because of the YCG production. Mecha Skull, the sole developer of this game, had a lot of help from them.
I'm not liking how this is going right now. There we go. That's good. That's good. I don't normally stop for this bit of healing right here, but I'll take it just to be safe. This is a very difficult game. A lot of things damage you. Your iframes last maybe half a second. So, if you get into a cycle of being hit, you're going to take a lot of damage really quick. I am missing all these jumps. But yeah, there are lots of enemies here. Oh, damage again. I get a little bit of healing before this next damage boost I have to. There's actually a bit of a health upgrade right below where I was, but I'm not going to grab the ones that are just laying around stage. I should reset that room. The ones that are just laying around stage, you need 3 of them in order to actually increase your health bar, and they slow the game down when you pick them up. There's not enough of them in the way to be worth grabbing them. So instead, the only health upgrades you're going to be getting are the ones that drop off of bosses, like this one here. Smasher, I think, is his name. Uh-oh.
Don't get smashed!
Well, I didn't get smashed.
Nice, 2 cycle.
Yeah, 2 cycle. And he's going to drop a health upgrade, which does slow me down a little bit grabbing it, but this game is difficult enough that for any percent, you do want health upgrades. You want them. I have done low percent runs of this game before, and towards the later chapters, you end up being too hit by a lot of stuff. I got the ledge clip. Ow. I got shot by a laser. My day's getting better already. Oh, I'm fast enough here that I don't have to damage the bug. I don't know how to make this cycle. There's a lot of cycle-based stuff, especially in Chapter 1 here. Yeah, if you go faster, you can make certain cycles. If you know certain tricks, like ledge clipping, which allows you to land on... Ow. Oh, I don't like this. Okay,
So
we're good.
I'm going to be completely frank with everyone. This is a very, very hard game. It is extremely punitive. For a game that came out well after the NES era, it certainly wants to be from that era.
By the way, when did this game come out?
Literally earlier this year.
It came out in January. Ah! Oh, that's...
Punitive! Help!
That's punitive. Yeah,
So it should not be a surprise to anyone that taking your time and maybe not holding forward the whole time is actually quite a fast strat. On day 1, when everyone in the community got together to start speedrunning this game, the fastest time was like an hour and like 18 minutes. And all of us were like, what? Because most casual playthroughs take between 6 and 9 hours. It is currently like an hour, it's like about 55 minutes for a speedrun. And you have to be playing really well to get 55 minutes. So for people casually who are finishing like 6 to 9 hours, an hour and 18 minutes was like, what did you do? He didn't die. That was the secret. Just don't die.
Yeah, my first playthrough of this game had somewhere around 200 deaths, and that was really low. By the way, this is Apparator.
Nice.
You can stand right in front of his shots and get a lot of shots in him. If you hit him from behind, he's going to complain about it in his dialogue afterward. 2 hits? Darn, I almost finished him in the air. He's going to complain about my hitting him from behind. That is not the button I mashed to skip dialogue.
So there are a bunch of achievements in this game. This game is a nice $20 game. It doesn't have a lot to do, but it is absolutely worth checking out. There are achievements if you want to go the extra mile and do a couple more stuff, but they're all extremely difficult. That one's not too bad. It's don't hit him in the back. There are other ones that are like particularly ruthless, and David technically kind of failed one, which is don't die until you reach a certain point. How far is it?
Basically, chapter 4. Get to chapter 4 without dying.
Yeah, that one's really rough.
This is not the movement I'm supposed to be doing for this room.
It's okay, well. Nobody knows. Nobody knows of him. Don't worry about it, dude.
Worry about what? Ah!
I don't know.
Those falling blocks. Let's worry about that. I got off cycle.
So,
Okay. This game is hard.
So after defeating that first, not really the first boss, but like every now and then you'll fight a boss that is guarding the spirit of one of your friends, and that one in particular gave David the ability to throw shurikens. So now by spending SP, David can throw a projectile, which only deals as much damage as a regular attack from your blade.
There we go.
But as a ranged attack, it's very useful. You can use it to hit switches. And it does deal, damage. So sometimes David will spam like four or 5 of them to kill something off from afar.
Yeah, you can throw out like 3 shurikens way faster than you can do like 2 hits. Oh, I don't have very many for this part.
There's actually an achievement for the next boss that you only kill it with shurikens, which is really difficult to do because you have to constantly find ammo throughout the fight to do that.
By the way, charging my laser!
You don't get hit!
I know what I'm doing here. I know exactly how far I can get before the laser fires
I'm glad
again.
you know what you're doing here. I don't!
By the way, it's possible to damage boost your way through... Ow. I'm not filled with this. I'm not filled with this!
Oh my god, okay.
Okay, take it slow. Wait for this guy to turn around. Okay, I'm good. Glad that I have save slot 1 because I can go back to the menu here and then restart my game to get back to 5 health, because that checkpoint does not recharge my health normally.
Yeah, for the currency in this game, there's a little number underneath David's HP and SP. That is your money, essentially. It's I think it's called Essence, and whenever you go to those little recharge stations, you can unlock the ability for it to heal you whenever you pass by it. And those upgrades to those stations are permanent in case you ever pass by them again, because this game allows you to warp around. You can it's basically a giant connected world. It's not really a Metroidvania. You don't really like revisit areas.
Ow.
Out of sequence anyway. But for the most part, it's a one and done because David's not going to be passing by a lot of these upgrades more than once.
By the way, another dumb achievement, get through this auto-scroller without killing any flies.
Yeah, the rust flies are super. There is a running theme with enemies in this entire game where a number of them just lock onto your position. Rust flies are kind of nice in that regard because they don't move really, really fast. They're pretty slow and they stop periodically. But soon enough, we'll be fighting a bunch of enemies that are parabolic, essentially. In fact, there's a weapon upgrade that's a great example of what those enemies are like.
Yeah. Also, another interesting tidbit is that this is the nerfed version of the auto-scroller. On release, there were even more rust flies here.
Yeah, there was a patch kind of early on, and it had a couple of changes, not just lowering the difficulty of this auto-scroller, but also there's a power-up later on that David will be getting that had a visual indicator added in, because it's a very difficult to use casually, but you'll also be able to see it better now. And it was made easier to use because you previously couldn't use it while you were taking damage, so we'll get back to that in like Chapter 5.
My phone is ringing right now and it's very distracting. Let's just damage boost through here, it's easier that way.
Ring, 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 phone call, phone call.
Okay, good. Ow. That's okay. That's okay. It's the one on the right that's important.
Yeah, I was waiting for that to happen.
Yeah. It's alright. Scrambler here. He's an interesting boss. Once you know his pattern, then he's not too hard, but it's possible to do it even more optimally by standing closer to him and jumping lower. But then you risk getting hit by his hand as he goes out. Oh, and he's got a second phase here, which throws a lot of new players off. And then we've got another buddy in here. He's dying. He's not having a good day either.
Sure is Tuesday in here.
But today's... Okay. I'm... Take that.
It was the hardest day of your life, but for me, it was Monday. Is that better?
Yeah, something like that. Oh, Chapter 3. So, the movement in this chapter is actually kind of satisfying. There's these jump up the platforms here. Kind of precise, but then the next room gonna get somewhat interesting. There's a specific path through this room that's a little easier and a little faster. Take this upper platform. Oh, and then there's gonna be bad guys here. Get that guy, good. Jump over this guy. Go up here, drop down, good.
So the power up that David just picked up from the last Ninja Buddy was an upward strike. If you have SP, it unleashes Phoenix Flames, which are actually pretty good for damage.
Very good for damage. Not very good for forward motion though, so you shouldn't be seeing me use it too much during the stage, but I should be able to use it during the Biohunter fight. I don't trust myself to get through this unharmed, so I'm grabbing health at the checkpoint.
So all of the techniques that David has been acquiring require you to hold a direction and press the attack button. You can't actually bind a specific button to do your techniques. So for the shurikens, David has to hold up and press the attack button. For the upward strike, David has to hold down while on the ground to do it. So actually making sure you get the right moves is kind of tricky sometimes.
Ow.
I just want to let people enjoy the music because it's so good.
This music is so... Oh right, there's that guy there. You know what? I'm taking out that guy. It's possible to jump up quickly enough that he doesn't do anything. But if you're not quick, then he's gonna roast you. Jump. Yeah, like, there's a lot of enemies here and they're gonna be blocking your path mostly, but there are usually paths through each room where you can get through without stopping. they're really difficult to execute sometimes, but they're there.
Nice use of shurikens to preemptively activate or disable some of these traps.
Yeah, you bait out the trap, it explodes. Oh, right, I was supposed to shuriken. You know what? I was not supposed to shuriken that one. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to remember where to use your SP and whatnot. I only have 6 or so. I shouldn't be throwing stuff out. Safe version. I'm gonna burn all my SP, but now I don't have to deal with that middle platform anymore.
SP is quite a valuable commodity. It's so hard to come by. That's especially going to... It only gets more valuable as time goes on. The more abilities David gets.
Yeah, there's also a weird bit where there is an SP poverty trap. It's a lot easier to get more SP if you have some. So if you burn it all, you might go a long time without having any at all.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It's definitely way more of a problem late game, because sometimes when you kill enemies with SP-related moves, they refund it. That said, there is a base version of all these techniques that you can do without SP, except for the shuriken. You need SP to use that, but a lot of these techniques that you'll get, you can just do them dry.
They're going to be patching in a weak shuriken next patch so that you can use it without SP. It'll just be a weaker version that's maybe half range.
Oh, that's nice.
Ah! Little short on the jump there. There are lots of instant death hazards everywhere. Okay, I think I'm past the point where I died. Ow.
I think that's a good point to bring up, that whenever you take damage in this game, you only get half a second of iframes. It is not a lot to work with at all, so you can quite easily take a ton of damage. Thankfully, turning around in the air is very, very quick, so if you need to turn around for a backwards damage boost, you can usually nail it.
I'm not liking my health right now.
Me either.
Okay, we're fine. There's nothing else that can hurt me between here and the checkpoint. And I actually have 5 SP for this fight, which is way more than I usually have. You know what else I'm gonna have? Best weapon in the game, Swag Blade!
That's actually literally its name. So this is the item that I was alluding to earlier. The way this weapon moves, you're gonna see a lot of enemies that basically move the same way, which is really, really frustrating to deal with. Very good
I
job.
didn't take a hit. My Swag Blade is still full power. It's still full power. Nice. So, anytime you get a sub-weapon, you can take 3 hits before you lose it. You can actually see in the upper left, the yellow bars next to the weapon, there's 3 of them. Every time I take a hit, 1 goes away.
So now David has this crashing strike. Every time David presses down plus attack in the air, basically does a shovel drop. But if you press it again, you plummet really hard. It's actually really good for vertical sections where you have to go down.
But you can only plummet like that if you have SP.
Which is again, it's going to be one of those reasons why you want to have SP all the time.
And I like having this. Oh, I didn't have to hit it up. So this...
Oh, nice! I was wondering if you were going to throw a Phoenix Flame for that. I didn't realize the Swag Blade could hit it too.
Can I hit it without the Swag Blade? I always keep the Swag Blade around specifically to hit the thing.
That's really funny because of this challenge that you have to do. Keeping the Swag Blade used to be really, really annoying because this is a climbing challenge, and whenever you do that drop attack, you actually bounce off of something lightly, so you can chain it to gain a lot of height. But the swag blade can used to be able to destroy those lanterns, which made a lot of the skips that you can do impossible because it would just constantly break them early.
Yeah, thankfully they patched it so that the swag blade can't destroy the lanterns. It can still destroy the crates and it will still slow you down a little bit, but you're not completely getting rid of your path forward with the swag blade anymore.
Yeah, shoutouts to Mechaskull for making a change like that, because even a small change like that is very difficult to do programming-wise. Making sure that it works and then like implementing it properly. It's not just something that like you go in and you take care of in like an afternoon.
By the way, Chapter 4 has my favorite track in the game, so get your cat jams out because this one is a real banger. Oh, and yeah, I'm using that vertical descent again.
The nice thing about the music tracks in this game is that, ooh, nice shot! There's usually a multitude of songs per stage based on the progression through the level. So this is the music you get for the beginning of this area.
See, can I get up here? Yeah, that guy cooperated. Those snake heads are random. And I have 4 SP for this next room, and I still have the swag blade. Interesting.
Swag blade will be slightly helpful. At this point, keeping it is just a bonus. There's not really stress that rely on the swag blade for the next area.
Yeah, in fact, I've never had it this far before, so it might actually throw me off.
Look at it go.
Look, I never have it here. This is unusual. Bottom path. That's easier this way. Just jump over that.
Those little balls of electricity that are coming out of the generators, if they hit certain elements of the room, they will do an additional attack afterwards. Those balls of energy will hit machines to power them up. They can hit water to electrify the water, or they can hit electric grids to electrify the floor.
That's not a lot of SP for this cyber section.
Cyber in. So this section, these sections show up every now and then. Those enemies currently take 2 hits.
You don't have to actually destroy the thing on the left. You can just destroy the thing on the right and then the door opens.
What? I didn't know that. I was like, are you forgetting something?
No, I'm not. See, I kind of like that you're familiar with the game, but at the same time haven't kept up completely with all the speedrunning stuff. So stuff like that can surprise you.
That's hilarious. So I did one speedrun, and I did practice a bunch of the rooms, but I didn't want to stick with speedrunning the game. I still think it's a great game. It's really, really hard. It's not for me. That said, I definitely appreciate all the speedrunning stuff that's going on, so I'm glad that you invited me to commentate for this, and if you've got more tricks up your sleeve, I'm going to keep screaming.
Good. I'm actually not sure what all you're familiar with, although there's something from the past week that may surprise you a little bit.
I'm intrigued.
I don't think I was fast enough for the drop down here. Maybe I was?
It looks pretty clean. It may not be the fastest, but it was certainly something.
You know, when I first played this, I thought you had to have SP to do the down strike at all, and so I was really concerned with having enough to get through those sections.
Yeah, there's so much in this game that they don't communicate to the player. So for the first month or so, that was a lot of what it was people discovering all these hidden interactions.
Oops. My health is fine here. I mean, I'm gonna grab this hidden one right here just for safety. I have died plenty of times in the next couple of rooms being, cocky. There's a lot going on here. It's very dangerous.
Whenever
see.
David does one of those drops, you only get to do one in the air. But if you hit an enemy, you can do it again.
Let's get this health. That blue guy is in a bad place.
Showing a lot of knowledge in general of the game, knowing where health pickups are.
You know what? Let's do that. Oh, this is a fight coming up.
Don't get your socks wet.
I'm getting my socks wet. I am not gonna go dry. Okay,
so...
there's an achievement for beating this boss while never falling in the water.
Context is important. Very nice, very nice.
That was about a third of his health.
Because David has this little power up, eventually like it levels up and like you get to shoot little bullets out of it. David can use that instead of spending a shuriken to hit some of these buoys from afar.
I think I'm looking at a 4 cycle here. No, that was a 3.
Very nice. Yeah, everyone calls that boss Ceres, absolutely. Good luck on this next little challenge. It's actually, because you have the ability to kind of pogo now, you can actually do some really fun stuff in terms of damage if an enemy is airborne. But because of the way this challenge works out, it actually doesn't really matter if you do a ton of damage to the crystal. Specifically, what David needs to do is defeat all these ghosts that pop out. The ghosts pop out after dealing certain amounts of damage to the crystal.
Hey you. Get back here. And it's random where they appear, so if 2 appear on opposite sides of the screen, then you're in for an interesting challenge there. Because if they land, you don't want to let them land. They might start parrying your shots, and then suddenly you then have one that's in your way, causing trouble.
Yeah, it snowballs very quickly if you let any of them get away. Also, I saw someone asking for more Shovel Knight DLC. Man, I wish. I would love a Treasure or Propeller Knight campaign. That'd be awesome.
I don't have to stop to refill my gun ammo.
Yeah, you did that completely hitless. So for completing the previous challenge, David's katana is now a level 2 katana. It deals more damage, which is enough to one-shot some enemies. It also has a slightly increased range, which is pretty nice. Good movement.
I've been running this fair bit lately. Ooh, I made it through there.
Leaving, I thought you were going to leave both of those enemies alive, but like you didn't take any damage clearing out the other one. That is a very common spot to either take a lot of damage or die.
Get out of the way, you. Okay.
Comfortably
my
close.
blaster is actually full on charges right now, so I don't have to stop and grab the shield from this thing for safety. So I need to hold on to this blaster as long as possible. Out of the way, you. Boom!
Very nice.
1 cycle, no damage.
I didn't even know you could get up to that thing without taking damage from it. Very good stuff.
And my blaster is still full on charges. So there's something about a third of the way into Chapter 5 that if you somehow still have a sub-weapon like the blaster or the shield, you could skip a section. But that means getting a lot of the way through Chapter 5 without taking too many hits, which is going to be really interesting because the upgrade I just picked up is the parry ability. What's the parry ability?
It's awful. So in this next chapter, because David just got the parry ability, they want to teach you how to use this by giving you a bunch of enemies that give you very difficult attacks to deal with or avoid. You have to parry them in a lot of cases. To parry, David needs to press forward, or just a move direction toward a projectile. Oh, that's uncomfortable.
He didn't die when he was supposed to. I didn't know the movement.
David needs to press toward a bullet when it is about to hit him in order to parry it. And what that does is it turns the bullet into an energy wave that he can reflect back at enemies. I was talking about this slightly earlier. Because you have to press forward, it's really awkward. You can't just like get close to something and then press a button. You have to space yourself as well in order to parry stuff. Parry shots do a ton of damage. They are quite powerful, but they're not easy to execute. And David doing really good, not taking any damage.
Whew. Good parry there. This is kind of the final gauntlet here. You get past this whole series of events, you'll probably be fine. One guy up here who has a tendency to block the path. Okay, good.
Very nice. Yeah, I've seen you not have good interactions with that particular enemy on practice. Very nice parrying while you're running. Good stuff. This is really not easy to do. Like, I can't stress how stupid it is.
I don't have any SP for this room.
Just take your time. You're good.
Boom.
Very nice. And that's having that power up, like David mentioned, got to skip a huge chunk of the level because you wrap around that area.
Should I try to carry this through the rest of the chapter? I'll try it.
Okay. Good luck.
I mean, it probably won't work. So, we have a little cutscene here where this thing's going to grab me and drain my health bar. It's faster if you damage yourself to one on purpose so that he doesn't spend so much time choking me out. But if I do that, then I'll lose the blaster. So it's possible to get a skip this way. But you have to execute well, and if you don't get this skip, you're not going to win out. I don't need your help. Help.
On top of only being able to do the crashing effect of the drop when you have SP. Whoa! Nice dodging. If you do have SP and you do the crashing effect, it also has an explosion of energy, so that's a nice way to increase damage dealt.
I freed the health pickup through the wall somehow.
Nice jump parries!
Oops. Now, can I do this fight? I'm not used to doing this fight with a blaster.
Good luck. The alpha fight is really hard. David's going to be trying to parry, but it's not easy to parry these shots.
Oh, one hit.
Nice.
I'll take it. 3 round, 1 hit. Yeah, and these bosses are designed to drill the parry mechanic into you even further.
Are you going to let Alpha live for me?
I should let Alpha live.
He did nothing wrong.
Whoa, that was a little close there.
I hate that enemy. It's so annoying. Oh no!
Friend! Hi, friend!
Hopefully he gets... Oh, I didn't get stuck on the thing!
Ouch. Blaster's gone. But friend helped me get up, yay!
Oh my god. And then,
by the way, 1 health, no problem.
Yeah.
Oh, only 2 SP. Okay. Alpha 2. Let's go.
Very nice reflex. Yeah, if you have a bunch of SP, it's really cool to just go, like, ham on top of the eyeball. Oh, and a benefit of getting a perfect parry, if David can pull that off, is David will be refunded, or will be given 1 SP for pulling off a perfect parry.
And, yeah, you can choose whether to kill Alpha or let him live. I'm gonna let him live.
It's really strange. I don't know what the implication is about what Alpha is in terms of story stuff. Go play it and make your own assumptions. Very strange also that we don't get a power-up for freeing this buddy. They just die. Unfortunate.
Oh look, my power-up is right here. Oh wait, I guess I gotta fight for my power up first.
So this is the Eagle Shrine. The Eagle Shrine allows you the ability to sprint. This is actually one of the coolest abilities in this game. I wish it was given to you from the start. Instead, you get it like halfway through the game. So now, if David double taps or presses, what do you have? You have a button down?
I'm using a shoulder. Let's see. I'm using a shoulder button to dash.
So whenever David presses the shoulder button, while on the ground, he gets this run up. If David does an attack while in that run up, gets a dash attack that kind of annihilates enemies. It gives you a ton of speed too. And afterwards, you can do what David just did, where David, after falling out of the dash attack, did a crash drop, so was able to clear that giant gap without having to activate it. Activate a switch to get through.
Yeah, the movement gets real neat once you have the dash ability. Oh, Chapter 6. This is a fun one. This is one of your favorites, isn't it?
Yes. The previous chapter and this chapter are some of my favorite chapters. This chapter, when you have SP, if you perform a dash attack, you have a lot of invincibility in that dash attack, and you also go a little bit farther and slightly faster. It is extremely important to have SP for this dash attack. And
I'm out of SP.
That's so bad. But I believe in you. Having SP is so important for being able to dash attack through stuff without taking a ton of damage. This trap is the worst thing ever!
I'm not concerned about this room. It can... Oh. I nearly got crushed there! I will wait for this trap, though. Oh! Right, I only had 1 SP. Couldn't do the double dash.
David, please. I only
yes,
had
I got
one...
it!
You got 1 David, please, and I've only had 1 cup of coffee.
This is probably my least favorite room here. Got past the hard part. 1 SP. Okay, that should do it. We're fine here.
Speak for yourself!
Alright, tunnel cleaner. So,
I love this boss.
oh yeah, this is a fun boss if you pull it off. The parry mechanic's gonna come into play a lot here.
Yeah, casually I hated this boss because it takes a very long time to kill it. It barely opens its weak spot. But
I did not parry it right.
You get multiple chances, good luck. It's not easy.
Try it again. I didn't get it.
Yeah, being able to parry all 3 of those shots, they last just long enough. Nice, you even got one. Please don't die.
Oh, I should have waited. That's alright though. Tunnel cleaner is a difficult boss to execute.
That's still way faster than anyone does casually.
Way faster. I hung on to the side of the train car and I didn't die. 1 SP is not a lot for this next section, so I gotta preserve it for this first room of Chapter 7 coming up.
Yeah, there's an unfortunate, you're kind of handicapping yourself. If you could just mash the dash attack without spending SP, you'd be doing it all over the place. But you will spend it if you ever do it, any of your SP moves. And David really needs it for this room. Like all of these attacks that go through these enemies and then refund your SP. Nice reflect. The other thing about having SP, if you do an SP attack on an enemy successfully right now, if he does this dash attack, then he can do another attack afterwards.
Ow.
This is really uncomfortable. There's a lot of spikes everywhere.
Yeah, this is probably one of the most difficult rooms of Chapter 7. Ow. The spikes didn't get me. Yeah.
No, they didn't. Yeah, spikes will kill you even if you have iframes.
Alright, let's try this again then. That's better.
Reminder that David isn't really picking up a ton of... Like, there's way more health upgrades than the ones that David's picking up. And enemies are doing way more damage.
Ow. Let's take this a little safe. Ow.
Like, you're seeing some rust flies right now. We haven't seen them in a while. They're one of the weakest enemies in this area.
I don't have any SP right now.
That's awful for this area. I hate this area. Casually, I spent like an hour in this area, and it's like maybe 6 or 7 rooms tops.
I mean, I've had enough practice that I can get by without SP. I just really like having it.
Yeah,
oh.
Ask anyone who's played this game. This area sucks!
I mean, look at all these skulls and big flies. Ow. I'm about to lose my SP dispenser already. That's okay. I get health here. This last portion of Chapter 7 isn't too bad. Ow. I lost my SP dispenser and I am very low on health now.
Yeah, when I said I took an hour on that area, I meant the space between the first and second checkpoint in that area. David is now an hour ahead of my casual playthrough in this area.
Ow. Ah! That was close. There is still plenty going on here. Okay, as long as I don't mess up these jumps, and I'm messing up already, I should be good. Good! We're good. We're good.
Very nice.
And I'm out of SP again, but, you know, that's to be expected.
So since David got a damage upgrade to his katana since the last time he was in a cyberspace, now he can one-shot these guys, which is really nice. They're really annoying to deal with when they have 2 health.
Ow. That parry mechanic is throwing me off a little bit there. Yeah, this cyber section and the next one has those guys with the shells around them that you gotta destroy in order to unlock the area you're going to. And we're getting something pretty important here. Oh, I don't have any SP. I can't do the quick drop here. Oh, right. I could have been dashing. I'm actually not used to dashing. I almost always just run everywhere. Alright. Long cutscene here.
First thing I want to touch on real quick. David, when parrying those enemies, if you're in iframes, because of the patch, now you can parry while you have iframes. Previously you couldn't. As for this cutscene, David is getting a super boost. All of his abilities that he's picked up so far are now being enhanced. So his moveset kind of just doubled. The most important things being he can double jump now, and because of that, you can chain some really awesome movement. The next section is kind of like obliterated by the fact that you can be sprinting, doing dash slashes, and then like this movement is so good. This is a reason why you would want to run this game.
On the other hand, Chapter 8 is designed around this movement, and it's gonna keep up with the difficulty.
It's designed to hate you, that's for sure. Look at all that nowhere to stand.
So far, so good.
Wow!
I didn't do the movement right. But thankfully, since I almost never reset, I have some very weird backups.
I mean, hey, that's impressive to me, at least.
We're good.
Oh, I love this section. Nice.
Uh-oh. Out of SP now.
That's super uncomfortable.
Oh, that guy dropped.
Dang. Okay, very nice, though. Nice backup. So, David now has a charged attack.
Oh, look, one hit. No problem.
You're terrifying me. If David swings his blade and then holds the attack button down, he can charge his attack. But it's not the only attack that he can charge. If David parries an attack and the energy wave is there, if he parries it with a charged slash, he gets a charged homing attack instead of the usual reflected attack from parrying.
Oddly,
David,
this cyber section is easier than the previous one.
yeah, it kind of is. Being able to double jump just makes the game a lot more manageable. Oh boy!
So what is a ninja game if it doesn't have a motorbiking auto-scroller?
There was a part of me that was like not prepared for this, but at the same time when I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is great.
So the achievement for this auto-scroller is get through the whole thing without taking any damage.
Shoutouts to Magic Madman who did all feats runs.
Magic Madman's a cool guy.
He's ridiculously good at games. When he's like, oh, I want to run this category, I guarantee you, he's gonna do the stupidest things that you can do in that category to save time.
He lives up to his name.
Absolutely.
He's also the current world record holder for a Shovel Knight King of Cards.
Yeah, he barely bopped you on his PB. It's a 7-second improvement, but because Madman goes for like all the hardest stuff, his PB was like a 2-minute time save on his previous run.
Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah, he had the potential if he had just gone for safer strats, but Madman doesn't go for safe strats.
By the way, if I hadn't already unlocked it, I would have unlocked the achievement for that biking section.
Nice job.
Because that's it. But it turns out, what's the bike's name? Is it Exo?
I think that's her name, yeah.
Exo is a transformer. An Autobot. Transform, roll out. I don't have any SP for this section either, but that's pretty normal. Oh, good. Okay.
Thankfully, it's a pretty short section too, because in a second, David's going to be jumping in a mech.
Ouch. My dash came up a little short there.
See, that movement that David just did, that's what you would be doing all the time if you didn't have to spend SP.
That kind of movement is really difficult to control. I'm kind of glad I'm not doing it all the time.
But it's super fun.
Ah!
Wow!
Shoot. Chapter 8 is no joke. And I kind of, did not have my brain there. Let's see. Let's just do this again. Maybe if I'm lucky, the thing will have been destroyed. Nope. Ah! I'm fine. Ow. Stop flying around me, guys.
Parrying those bullets is really hard, and they deal a ton of damage.
Okay, just to be safe, this health right up here, I'm grabbing it. And, I don't have any SP again. Oh, but here's the mech section.
Resident David knows backup strats. So this mech is kind of weird. It doesn't actually have knockback, so you can actually run through a lot of these hazards. You can also step on some of the hazards without taking damage. But everything deals a ton of damage, so you don't want to do that without knowing what you're doing.
Yeah, I kind of know exactly how much damage various things can do, giving me a very good idea of how much safety I have. I can get through here. Checkpoints right there. But we do have a boss here where there's going to be an immediate shout out to Contra that you can't read because it's in Japanese. Let's attack aggressively. And the achievement is named that if you can beat this boss in less than 30 seconds. By the way, he spawns in the same place every single time, which means you will almost always beat him halfway down the third time he comes down.
It's based on your movement, so as long as you do the fight the same way, you will always get the same movement pattern.
Alright, Exo can sense that the strain of piloting a mecha is really getting to me because, you know, in case you forgot, Shadow is dying. And has been for the past 50 minutes. And I don't just mean because of all the instant death stuff.
I'm dying. I'm dying. That's just been Shadow this whole time.
I can take one more hit from those flying things. Okay, good. We're past the mecha section, which brings us to the final section of Chapter 8, which is the most difficult part probably in the entire run. Probably.
It's a good thing you got a health refill before this boss fight.
Yeah, the one that's cinematic in which I can't do anything because my mecha is weak to EMP, but even though Shadow's now a cyborg, he's not? I don't know. I don't know, this is gonna kind of hurt for a bit. Ow! Laser! You know, I am really not a fan of getting a laser to my face. A giant orbital laser.
You were literally at the center of the laser. Yeah, F's in chat for Exo.
Luckily, Shadow lives with 1 health. And has to get through this next section with 1 health. You know what? Let's just menu back. Okay, good. I have 5 health now. SP dispenser right here.
I love that SP dispenser. That saved my life.
Ah, shoot, that's not good. Alright, silence because this next section is very difficult. You can talk, but I'm concentrating.
Okay. There's not a lot that I want to say to break your concentration either way. This section is extremely difficult, but also has really good music. There's, as you can see, a billion hazards all over the place. And hitting those... Hitting security alarm actually lowers these turrets that allows David to run up the top side, but man, it's not
Oh
my god!
I am fine! First try.
What the?
See? I'm fine. This is fine. But I got to the next checkpoint, and so I don't have to worry about that very difficult part anymore. I can just do whatever's here. I have forgotten what's in each room. I don't want to trigger those alarms.
Oh my god.
Ow. I triggered an alarm. You know what? Let's just reset it. I didn't even realize there was an alarm there. I'm not used to that path through the room.
That one particular alarm has traumatized me, so I saw you get through it, but then you dropped down. I was like, oh no.
I'm having... Okay, just...
In order to get your... David was trying to wall jump and then double jump up past those spikes, but he was only getting double jumps, which was really annoying.
This thing's... No? Okay.
Like I mentioned earlier, kind of not a Metroidvania. You're going through some old areas, but they're basically locked off, so you're passing through them, because Shadow here is on his way to Cyber City's spaceport, and in order to get back there, he has to backtrack through a lot of the familiar older areas.
I have more than enough health for this. Ow. For now, but I will need an SP refill probably after all this stuff. Luckily, there's one right here. And I will grab the health just for safety, just to be sure. The health that's right here. Okay, that's the hard part of Chapter 8 down.
Like kind of mentioned before, doing dash attacks through enemies with SP refunds your air options, and because David has the double jump, that's going to be how David gets through a lot of this this next chapter here. There's a lot of open water, which the water won't kill you. The things in the water will kill you.
There's my... Oh, I bumped the ceiling there. Oh well. But yeah, those mines really hurt. Ow. By the way, there's a whole section to that room that you can kind of skip by just dashing through some of those enemies that normally block your path. Ouch. I'm fine. I think this next section might be somewhat difficult. I'm trying to remember. Let's see. There's this room coming up with this weird movement to destroy those things from below. You can actually stand on top of these things without getting hurt. Okay,
Yeah,
we're good.
You're doing really good.
This is a lot of health for this part.
You're doing really good. Like, I can't stress the fact that you weren't taking damage throughout most of that. That was great.
And then parry shot to destroy that plant thing.
Destroy the crates!
So, another achievement time. Don't let any of these guys land on the boat. You're going to be using a lot of this dash attack. Especially if you've got SP, because it will one-shot them, and you position yourself right, you'll get the refund, so you can keep doing it.
It only one-shots them if you attack them in a specific way. And the way that David is doing that, turning around afterwards, is what's killing them in one swoop. Also, those purple flames deal a lot of damage.
And they hang around for a long time, and they block a lot of your movements. Every one of those purple guys will leave flames all over the boat when they explode. They're not cleaning up after themselves.
Tex says, only the blue guys can't land on the boat unless that's been patched. I don't know. I personally don't know. I'm not the achievement hunter here. But thankfully, because you can kill them all like this, it's not an issue.
Oh boy, somebody's really trying to call me right now. I'll just have to call him back in about 10 minutes, which is when I think I'll be done with this run. Maybe 12 minutes. Yeah, chapter 10 is going to be about 10 to 12 minutes long. It's the last chapter. Oh, this boss is going to be difficult.
Yeah, if David can kill this boss without damaging its hands, that'd be incredible.
Whoa! I got the
Nice!
parry! And I left myself 1 SP, too. By the way, cutscene skip here. If you stand in the middle of this thing, then you'll see a short little cutscene, but you can just jump over it. And I have 2 SP for this room, which means I can dash through all these things.
This is actually where I got my achievement for doing the dash attacks.
I'm not going to do the dumb jump right here. I'm just going to do something that's a little bit slower, but a lot safer. Uh-oh. We're fine. Uh-oh. We're fine. Nothing to worry about here. I don't know where my platforms are.
When I was trying to lab ways to get through these rooms, I nicknamed this area Orange Hell. Very nicely done.
Yeah, and I didn't even have to spend... Hold on. Gotta concentrate. Uh-oh. That's unfortunate. But the lamp is still there in case I want to try that again.
Oh, that was also unfortunate.
SP control now.
You got the dash, but it dropped you off too low to be able to jump afterwards.
Chapter 10's movement is fairly difficult if you're going to try to skip the moving platforms. Let's try this again. There we go.
If David were not skipping all of the rooms by jumping over these chasms, Mexico put platforms that you can ride to like get through, and it becomes kind of like a patient auto-scroller bullet hell. But it's really slow.
Let's take it just a little slower and safer.
Very nice. You're doing incredible on this spaceport.
Darn. Shoot. I tried to parry that. That's unfortunate. Okay, gotta wait for this section again then. By the way, when you charge with the up button and you try to do a charge shuriken, you throw a kunai instead.
The kunai is a special projectile because, again, a lot of the properties of moves are not explicitly explained to the player. Kunai can actually... Nice, early flames to hit the spider rail.
Does whatever a spider rail does.
Kunai can also hit the spider rail even with its eye closed.
Although I'm trying to save my SP right now. At least for a bit. Need to have at least one. Boom!
Nice reflect.
And then the climb. It's time for the climb.
Oh boy. This is easily going to be one of the biggest walls for anyone who's interested in speedrunning this game. This last section is a vertical climb with a ton of enemies that specifically react to your movement and try to get away from you as well. And David's going to be using a lot of them to try and cheat the climb and not have to go around the room as much, or at least not ride as many of these platforms. And it's not easy. And being knocked down is one of the worst things that can happen.
I'm taking this slow but safe. Slow but safe, I said. Ow. We're fine. That's the hardest part right there.
Nice job. Not like it gets much easier.
I missed it. Okay, I just threw my pattern off for this room. I don't know where I am now. Let's grab that. There's a specific way through this room, but if you get off cycle, then suddenly you have to improvise everything. Go ahead and spend all your essence on that last checkpoint, because this is the last 3 bosses coming up.
Yeah, David got an SP refill and an SP dispenser, and the apparator is going to completely melt. Lost 3/4 of his life in that opening sequence. Good stuff. Dead!
And lost the rest.
It's kind of funny that all this dialogue allows David to get a lot of SP back.
Yeah, it's not going to matter too much. Well, okay, I am using that Rising Flame a lot, but the the parry strat is kind of a lot more damaging than anything my weapons can do.
Okay, this is the last boss right here. Progenitor has 4 essences that you've seen throughout the run, sealed up. 3 essences. David's freed 2 of them. So periodically he'll be getting a shield from the blue one, and an empowered flame attack from the red one.
Ouch.
well-timed hits can get 2 hits on Progen as he becomes vulnerable.
It's actually possible to get 3, but they have to be really well timed. And he's gone.
Very nice. The third essence gets freed automatically, but it doesn't actually provide you with a power-up, really. It spawns platforms so you can reach Progen. Any guesses in chat? How many deaths did David have? I want to say it was not much more than 10, if that. In fact, I think it was less than 10.
Yeah, I think it's hovering around 10 deaths.
I will say 7. How many screams?
I don't know. Was anyone counting those? The game's not going to tell me how many there were.
Dude, you are crushing this estimate, by the way. Good stuff.
I'm very close to my PB here. My PB is somewhere around a mid 106. By the way, I mentioned earlier something that you probably don't know about as a speed strat. So, you jump into this thing, you can kind of skip some of the animation by doing a downward stab there.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Nice. Very nice. And then time ends when the fade to black after this cutscene starts.
Yep. And that's time, which I think is about 15 seconds faster than my PB.
GG's.
What's my...
You PB'd?
Oh, I think I did. Yes, my PB was a 106.35.
Congrats!
I forgot to start my local recording, darn. I'm gonna have to ask RGL TV for the VOD pretty soon.
This is great. You got me screaming in your PB. I feel great.
Oh, and I went through all that, rescued my master, who is also my girlfriend. There seems